What's up, everybody? This is your boy DC Black coming to you yet again with another movie review. And I want to try something a little different. I want to try this format, see how you guys like it. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. Should I just do the video or not do a video? Tell me what you guys think. But as you guys can see from the video, the poster in the video rather, I am doing a movie review, and that movie review just so happens to be Shazam. Now, I was able to get in very early screening for this movie because I was subscribed to the DC streaming service. Shout out to them and the screeners they were giving out. Much love. But I was able to see this movie, and this will be a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to spoil this movie. And the reason why I'm not going to spoil this movie is because, honestly, from the trailers, we have seen nothing this movie really has to offer. And I like that. I like the fact that they really made sure that they were keeping some things from us. And I'm going to kind of jump right into it, into my thoughts. This movie was by far one of the most fun DC movies I've ever watched. I had so much fun watching this film. I was able to go. I went and seen it with with my wife, and my wife now, just being totally honest with you guys, she does not like DC that much at all. She's more of a Marvel fan and the Marvel movies. And I have to, and she asked me different questions about the Shazam mythos, and I know some of Shazam's mythos, not a whole plethora of stuff. Unlike, if this was Batman, I could kind of, go into a preaching state of preaching moment about Batman and the stuff Batman's done in his mythos. But Shazam was so. But she asked me questions about Shazam, and it was so good. And the fact that they hid so much from us, the audience, in the trailers, and I would honestly say we've only saw a very small bit of the ending, a very small bit of the middle, and even the smallest of small bits of the beginning. We have not even seen. I think we maybe have seen maybe a minute and a half of the first 5 minutes of this movie, at most. This movie has so much to offer. Like, I can't express to you guys visually how much fun I had with this film. It was almost like a breath of fresh air. I honestly, and now I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm going to keep it 100. I did not want to see this movie at first. I was like, okay, well, I got this free screener. Cool. If I hate it, that's fine, because then I didn't pay any money to go see it, so it wasn't a loss for me. But after I watched this movie, I was like, I have to go back to watch this movie again to go financially support this film, because there's no reason why this movie should have been as fun as it was. This movie, to me, is everything that Shazam should encompass. The kid nature of it, the fact that this character is on par with Superman, and they show that. But also just the magic nature of his powers, the fact that he is a magic-based user. Where this is DC's first dip into the magic aspect of their characters, and I honestly can say this was a very good start. And I think this was a great way to introduce magic to the DC universe, because, I mean, I won't say necessarily Wonder Woman introduced magic, because Wonder Woman, though she is magic, they introduced more of the Greek mythology, and we were introduced to her in Batman v Superman. So I wouldn't necessarily count that as being a magic-based user. But Shazam is a straight magic-based user. And I love the fact that what we got there was this introduction to this magic character, but it was so much like it was just like reading a Shazam comic book. If any of you guys are reading the Rebirth comic of Shazam, you guys will love this movie automatically. Love it. But if you haven't, this is one of those movies where it captures the character, but is not so kiddish. On one hand, you have this character being captured, this character capturing the idea of Shazam and the kiddish nature of it. But on the other hand, you also have the adult nature of this film as well, and it balanced it out perfectly. Now, one of the things I have to say that was also a pleasant surprise is the main cast member, Zachary Levi. I was pleasantly surprised with this character. I did not think I was gonna like him I didn't think I was gonna like him as Shazam, but I was wrong. They hinted at so much in this movie. So much was hinted at in this film where I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with Black Adam. Oh, the Black Adam, the Black Adam cameo that's in this film. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be straight up with you. The Rock is not in it, but they do hint at Black Adam. They do hint at. I'm not. I don't want to give it away, but they do hint at Black Adam. Even the main villain. The main villain isn't even who you think it is. Like, it was. It was basically the. So all the pieces. It was basically to kind of give you an example of it. It was like how the Last Jedi was subverting expectations, but this subverted expectations in a good way. Okay, let me just emphasize that, a good way. Because sometimes some people try to subvert expectations and they just do it just to do it. And it's not really a type of, it's not a way to subvert expectations and do it in such a way that you actually appreciate it. It's one of those things where you just did it just to do it. And that's no way to treat your audience at all. The costume looked amazing. The acting was really good. And there were deeper things that were going on in this story as well. Like just this idea of the family unit being important. I have never seen a superhero movie that actually dealt with family and the importance of the family unit. I love that. And that family and the idea that family is important. That, you can only do so much by yourself. And I love that. I love the subversion of different tropes. Now to be honest, there was one thing I didn't like about this movie. Well, let me think. Two things. I think about two things that I didn't like about this movie. Number one, the one thing I didn't like is that there were tad bits, and I say tad bits, of stuff that happened in the third act where you was like, ooh, that CGI looked kind of bad. Like, it's really bad. The second thing I didn't like was when it comes down to the main villain, like the main villain of the movie, it was kind of hard for you to tell which was which. And if you watch the film and then watch this review, you will understand what I'm saying. But I won't say villains of this movie, it was kind of hard to tell which was which. Some of them you could tell, but then some of them you was like, wait, which one are you now? What are you now? It was one of those things where it's kind of hard to tell. There were a lot of good cameos in here as well, a lot of good hat tips to everything else in the DC extended universe or DC universe or whatever they call it themselves now. I can't keep up. What else? Is there anything else in it that was kind of bad? Oh, my wife made a good joke in the third act. There's something that happens in the third act with Shazam, and my wife makes a joke. This is why you don't wear capes. That coming from Incredibles 2, where one of the superheroes, one of them went to, I think her name is Ingrid. They went to her to ask her about a new super suit, and they were gonna get something with capes, and she was like, no capes. You never wear a cape. And my wife looked, laughed, made a joke and laughed, and was like, "See, this is why superheroes shouldn't wear capes." And it's true. Like, capes are not the most practical thing to use when you're in a superhero fight. Oh, there's a lot. There's also a lot of funny things that they funny things that they do with the superhero trope, the different superhero tropes you see in movies, especially with superheroes that can fly. It's a scene that they have in there that is downright hilarious. It's so funny, um, and Shazam does a lot of that. It teases, it kind of pokes fun at at the superhero genre while not being annoyingly making fun of the superhero genre. But it kind of pokes fun at certain things, at the certain superhero tropes. It makes fun of it, and I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see. Now, also to now going to the back to the villains. I actually really like the villains, and I liked how they were portrayed. Like I said, the only thing that I didn't like is the fact that you sometimes couldn't tell which is which. There are two after credit scenes. The first one matters. The second one is a joke, and it's funny. It's they basically poking fun at the last DC movie that came out. It was very funny. But yeah, like I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it so much. So I want to encourage you guys. Please go check out this movie. Don't let this movie just go by the wayside and not earn the money that it's worth. I mean, some of you guys have heard my review of Captain Marvel. No, I do not like that movie, period. But this is a movie that deserves it. Like, it is so good, and this is not even me hyping it up. It's a very funny movie, and it's a very good movie. But I definitely, if I was to grade this, I'm giving it an A. Like, there are some things in it where I'm just like, whatever. But you just remember the fact that this is a kid. This is a kid that becomes a superhero. So there are certain things you realize it's just like, oh, this is just keep that in mind when you watch the movie. I'm not gonna give nothing away. Just keep that in mind. I also would probably say that they should have made, in my opinion, certain things to be better. I think they should have made Billy Batson just about 3 years younger. Just 3 years younger, in my opinion. Billy Batson should have been about 3 years younger, and it would be perfect. But yeah, like I think like I definitely love this movie. Um, and I definitely think that this is something that should be, you know, supported. So, with that being said, we are at 13 minutes. I want to keep this review short. Maybe if you guys like it, I will go ahead and maybe do a spoiler review. I don't know if you guys want to, if you guys like the video. So with that being said, if you guys like what you see, please like, subscribe, share, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for all notifications of all the different videos you will get on the Save Point channel. Keep an eye out for Crash continuing to do his walkthrough of Devil May Cry. Sora doing his thing, as well as JRPG doing his thing as well. Yeah, and I will see you when I see you.